Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Reflect and Revive. Hope you're doing well this morning. Happy Friday to you. Made it to another weekend. Guys, we did it. Just want to take some time out of your morning and just encourage you a little bit with something that I feel like was placed in my heart yesterday, especially as I was kind of out and about and driving. And I had to go to Chesapeake and Virginia Beach for a project that I'm working on. And while I was out there, a lot of times whenever I'm driving, I like to listen to podcasts or music. It's my time for prayer, just kind of reflection. But I have my music on shuffle, and I was listening to it was just like different Christian music is what the title was under for Apple Music. And this older song, it's older for me. It's something I listened to as a kid. It brought back some memories for sure. It's called In the Light by DC Talk, and basically just talking about just this desire to be in the light as God is the light. Love to be our light and our salvation, and so it's a song that I really like to listen to when I was a kid, but it just has so much significance for where I'm at right now. And it reminded me of a time whenever I was in second grade. My dad was pastoring a church in a city called White Cloud, Michigan. And while we were there, he basically just, our house was right next door to the church, lived in a parsonage there. And my dad left something at the church and was like, hey, son, can you run over there real quick and grab this for me? And so I went to the church, and I don't know if you know this, but a church is probably one of the most terrifying places to be, especially at night when you're a kid, because it's just, it's so big and the lights are off and you just think you hear noises everywhere, and it is terrifying. And so we had this flashlight, and I took it with me, and I'm walking through the church and I'm trying to, to find this. Well, the light didn't, it basically goes out, or it dims down to where I can barely see, anything in front of me. I think the batteries were dying on it. And so I'm just terrified, running through, and I grab what my dad needs, and I just take off and go back home. And it kind of reminded me, it was something like just that time, I was reminded during that song, and it just reminded me of kind of where we're at in church, and I apologize. Actually, I don't apologize for stepping on any toes if I am, because I was stepping on my own toes. This is something that I feel like God was just so heavily speaking to me. But I read this little quote, and I got a couple of scriptures for you that I just want to encourage you with this morning. But a lot of times right now, we want to blame the darkness around us, or we want to look at things that we look at as not light, is dark, and blame that, and scripture says in Matthew chapter 5, I'm reading verse 13 through 16, it says, "You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has become tasteless, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot by men. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden, nor does anyone light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven." So if we're supposed to be the light, okay, and we're called by God to let our light shine, so that people can see the goodness of what we do, see our love, see how we treat other people, see how we respond to those who maybe think differently or believe differently than you, or to those who that maybe they live their life differently, but it's saying, Jesus is saying here, is let your light shine so that people may see the light in you, and not look at and think, man, that's a good person, but instead glorify our Father who is in heaven. Because a lot of times, unfortunately, and I'm not speaking for the church, I'm speaking for myself here. A lot of times, I've acted in such a way, I've behaved, the way I've behaved, the way I've thought, the way I've talked, the way I've, been towards. If someone were to look at me and know that I was a follower of Jesus, I would have been embarrassed because I wasn't being a good light. and so that's kind of been for the last several years. It's just like, I just want to be light. I want to be light. I want people to see me and notice that there's a difference in me, not because of how good I am, but because of how good he is. Okay. And so, and I heard this quote and basically a couple years back, and it sticks out to me, and every now and again I'll just read through it. But it asks this question, it says, why blame the dark for being dark? It is far more helpful to ask why the light isn't as bright as it could be. And a lot of times, I didn't go into that church and be mad because it was dark. I knew it was going to be dark. I was mad because I had the light, and the light let me down. So because of that, I couldn't see, and I was, I felt like I was alone, and I felt like I was in a vulnerable place, and I was scared, and so we can't look at what we consider darkness of this world or bad things and get mad at that. I guess you could, but it's more helpful to ask, why isn't the light? Why aren't we as the church shining as bright as we could be, shining as bright as we should be? Okay, and how do we obtain that light? Is just looking in John 8:12. It says, Jesus again spoke to them, saying, I am the light of the world. He who follows me will not walk in darkness, but have the light of life. So if we're wanting to be light, if we're wanting to have that light in us, we have to follow after the light of the world. Okay, and just some encouragement for you this morning. I know that this may cause for some reflection, and that's good. So we're, reflect and revive. But looking at this part in John 1:15, it says, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Guys, I promise you, the darkness is not going to overcome the light. We just have to draw closer to God, who is the light, and say, I want you to fill me up and let me be light so I can shine for you, so people can see what's going on in my life and glorify you for it, not me. I hope this has been I know maybe stepping on some toes. Like I said, I was stepping on my own here, but I hope it's been a source of encouragement for you this morning. I pray you have a great, great, great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. God bless.